Makeup by Mario Foundation versus Dupe, the newest Revlon Illuminance Skin Caring foundation. I have played with both foundations multiple times, but today we're gonna put them one-to-one and see how they wear, how they look, all the good stuff. Let's apply. Today we're gonna use the Shiseido Synchro Skin Soft Blurring Primer. One of my favorite primers that works with pretty much every single base there is. Left side, we're gonna do Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation. I have 4C and 2N, and both shades don't work for me. I have to mix them to get somewhat of a good shade for my skin tone. I don't know. I prefer to use either my fingers or the brush. The new brush also came out with a new foundation. It's a dual side. You have a bigger side and there's a smaller side that I use for concealer. I found that you need to blend it in right away because it does kind of stick to those areas where you apply it. I'm just taking whatever is left on the back of my hand, working it into the brush and just building up that coverage. I would say the coverage is a light to medium. I personally have a hard time building it up to a full medium coverage, a solid medium. Solid medium usually gives me a very even skin tone and it looks like my skin, but it's very even. On this, you can still see a little bit of redness peeking through, my spots peeking through. It's not as even, but it's even enough. For the most part, it's really easy to work with, but you have to blend it in right away with the initial application. For the finish, you get a beautiful natural finish. When you look up close, you'll see that pearlized effect because it does have mica in the ingredient list. So it does have those pearls, and you can even see it in the bottle when you look at it up close. It looks pretty illuminating. It's actually really pretty. It's not intense. I wouldn't compare it to the e.l.f. Halo Glow or the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. It's not that pearlized. It's very slight, but you can see it on the skin, especially if you're like in natural sunlight or you have a lot of light on your face. But it's very pretty and natural. Let's move on to Revlon Illuminance Skin Caring Foundation. This, spoiler alert, I think I like it more than Makeup by Mario. So what is this? This right here is $17.99. It has 28 shades available, so 2 less shades than Makeup by Mario. It has 5% squalane with hyaluronic acid. I believe the Makeup by Mario has grapeseed oil and then squalene in the formula, so similar enough, but somewhat different. It does not have mica in the ingredients, so it's not going to give you that pearlized effect with your finish, but it does have a beautiful, naturally radiant finish. If you don't wear a primer with this, or if you wear more of a hydrating, illuminating primer, it's gonna be extremely radiant and illuminating on your skin. We're gonna try shade 217, one pump.
So hopefully this is gonna be a good dupe.
It's okay, we got another shade. Yes, I'm hoping this is gonna be a good dupe, but I think you get a lot more product out with the Revlon with the one pump versus Makeup by Mario. I'm gonna open up 213 just in case, shake it up, and I might need to apply it with the 217, but this looks like pretty spot on. It has a nice cool undertone, but neutral enough.
I feel like you need to add some
Look at that.
yellow tones.
Yeah, this might be a little too cool.
Just to match that aside.
I mean, look at that. Wow, okay. And like I was saying, the reason why I think this is a dupe because it acts very similar to Makeup by Mario Surreal Foundation, but the one big difference is application. The Revlon Skin Caring Foundation, has incredible work time. I can let it sit on my skin for 1 to 2 minutes and I can still blend it out with ease, and it does a great job. It's oxidizing pretty fast, so I am going to add a little bit of my original shade, which is 109. But you can see that difference, very light. I'm gonna add a little bit right here and on the forehead, just to kind of even out the color. And for my applicator, I'm going to use my Bobbi Brown Full Coverage Face Brush. The Revlon Skin Caring Foundation, it blends so much easier with similar amount of work time. Has a little bit more of that serum-y texture. It's a little more fluid. It stretches a lot easier than the Makeup by Mario. Oh, the color match is actually not bad. Makeup by Mario is a little bit more yellow. This one is a lot more true tone to my skin tone. Still have quite a bit of product left. And that's just the one pump with the tiniest amount of the lighter shade. So even in that aspect, I think Revlon a little bit goes a long way in comparison to the Makeup by Mario, even though they're very similar coverage at the very end. Looking at the finish, you can see Revlon, it's a little bit more radiant, but looking up close, the Revlon Skin-Caring foundation, it looks a little more supple. It's a little more bouncy on the skin. It looks like your skin a little bit more versus Makeup by Mario. Yes, it's luminous, it's beautiful, it looks like your skin, but you can see the pearls on your skin. So it doesn't look as real or skin-like as the Revlon foundation. That's just what I'm noticing. But they're very similar in terms of how they look, how they wear, and well, how they look, how they apply, and how they wear. Okay, I gave this a good amount of time for both foundations to set. And one thing, Makeup by Mario, you guys saw, it sets really, really fast. So don't apply it all over your face and then blend it out. Work one area at a time and really work it into your skin. You'll notice right here, basically on the hollows of my cheeks, you'll see there's a dry spot, and that's kind of where I applied it first, and then on the top of my cheeks, and that's kind of where the foundation set pretty fast. Versus the Revlon, it kind of just sits on your face, let it oxidize, do its thing, and then you can go in and blend it, and it gives you that time to really stretch the foundation on your skin. You can apply it all over your face, wait, and you're good to go. It's very easy to work with. Now the finish. I would say finish is very similar on both sides. If anything, the Revlon has a little bit more of that natural luminosity without the pearls versus Makeup by Mario, I would say it's more of a true natural finish. You still see that glow from within, but up close, you'll see more of those pearls on your skin, which gives more of that fake fake glow, which I'm okay with. I think they're both very pretty. Now the feel, Revlon Skin-Caring foundation has more of that tackier finish and feel because it does have the skincare properties in there. It's more of that true natural radiant type of a foundation where it has that tacky finish. Versus Makeup by Mario, the Surreal Skin Foundation, it has more of that soft matte finish, which different, but similar enough. All right, I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup. We'll come back and we'll see how everything looks. I forgot to mention one thing, coverage. I did mention it when I was applying the Revlon, but just to repeat myself, Revlon Skin-Caring foundation, you can stretch a lot more with one pump versus Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation. I definitely wanted to mention or point that out. Milani Liquid Contour. Okay, with application of the rest of the makeup, I found that the Liquid Contour by Milani, it actually blended really easily on the Revlon side. The Makeup by Mario, I had to do a little bit more elbow grease, but it still did a pretty decent job. The blush, no issues on either side. I'm gonna leave the makeup here and we're gonna do a wear test. I'm hoping to get at least 7-8 hours because the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation, it starts breaking apart around the 6-hour mark. Breaking apart to a point where there's no foundation left, especially on the forehead, around the chin, and right here around the my smile lines and the nose. So we'll see how both foundations wear 1-to-1. This is what we're looking like 4 hours in. Still looks really beautiful on both sides. I'm looking glowy because there's a light right there, but I want to show you guys what it looks like under direct light. Looks good. Really happy with the way it's wearing so far. The Makeup by Mario Surreal Foundation, it's looking a little drier and it's focusing and exaggerating some of the dry spots and texture. The Revlon is just a little more dewy and glowy. We are 10 hours in. So we have Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation versus Revlon Illuminance Skin Caring Foundation. My opinion, Revlon is winning. The Revlon side looks incredible. The cheeks are still there. The products, the blush, the bronzer, the contour, it's all still there and it looks impeccable. I see a little bit of foundation breaking apart around the nose. A little bit pores are visible on this side. On my chin, a little bit of foundation is lost, but it still looks pretty even. Forehead, I feel like both sides are somewhat even, but there's a little bit more foundation left on the Revlon side. Moving on to Makeup by Mario, the cheeks, they look a little bit more, the pigment is getting lost, like for the bronzer and the blush. It's not as intense as the Revlon. The pores are a little bit more visible, the texture is a little bit more visible, and the foundation itself, it looks dry and it looks cracked and separated. It's wearing also pretty uneven the way it's wearing down in comparison to the Revlon. Both sides could definitely use a little bit of powder or just blotting in the pore, my T-zone area, but overall, at the end of the day, in my opinion, for my skin type, I have normal skin. It's like a combo skin. Combo, a little bit more oily on the forehead, T-zone, but then drier in some other spots, and then normal on most of the rest of my skin. For me personally, Revlon wears better, and I get a better shade range. I think it applies better. It looks better on the skin. Yes, it's a little tackier depending on what kind of base you have underneath, and it's a little bit more luminous. I would say this is a true, when you think of a radiant luminous foundation, this is it, but it's not extremely slick and oily feeling or looking in person. It's a really beautiful foundation, but the longevity is not there. You're not gonna get the longevity like the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, like the House Labs Triclone Foundation, or the Ambient Soft Glow Foundation by Hourglass. Those are really long wearing with more of a natural finish with higher coverage. I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching and spending time with me, and I'll see you in the next one.